Wherever this finds you, I hope this finds you well. Ben64, the console curator, coming at you today with what is part 2 of a 2-part unboxing video. In last week's episode, I unboxed the black box, shipped all the way from Japan in a Sendico parcel. It was exciting, so exciting that you decided you wanted to tune into part 2, which is coming at you today. So stick around, and without further delay, let's get into it. Alright, if you're finding me here, hopefully you just watched part 1 of a 2-box special and are excited for part 2, because I know I am, and there's some bigger, better, and crazier things in this one. So, let's get to it. And that is a chunky beast. I mean, come on, look at this thing. Oh my goodness. Huh. You know, you'd think I would have thought of this before I did this, you know, having learned from the last video, but who learns from videos? Come on. What's that about? Ugh. This one is going to require the big knives. I'm excited because this box has more in it than the last box. It'd be a good way to show you kind of how good the packaging is and how good a job they do of organizing everything here in such a way that it stays safe and protected on its way to you, its new happy home. Alright, so now that we have the box on knee, because that's the best way to open a box. The ASMR nobody wanted. Ridiculous. Look at that. So this shows you how good a job they do of backing this to the top. So let's see what we got in this haul. Alright, first things first, what did I just randomly grab? Oh, I know what this is. So, this is one of the earlier modems that you're ever going to find, and this was made for the Famicom. Remember when I told you in the last video that the Famicom had every single type of peripheral made for it? Look at that. Officially Nintendo. Yup. And this allowed you to actually access your bank and do things like that. This was when Japan's economy was absolutely blowing up. They were doing so well. It felt like there was no type of crash that could possibly happen. And so they tried to make it so you could bank online using your Nintendo Famicom. So to put that in perspective, that would be like you hopping online to use your NES in the current age for anything internet related. Pretty hilarious. What's even cooler is that this ended up finding life and was hugely popular as, of all things, a horse gambling tool. So the modem that goes with this, which I'll show you guys as well, ended up being useful for the Japan Association Racing, JAR or JRA. And what it did was it allowed you to place horse bets from your Famicom, from what I understand, so recently as 2013. So 1983 this comes out, or the Famicom comes out, and it was used until 2013 to place bets in Japan, one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world. Consoles, of course, are going to be something that many of us are going to be trying to go for from Japan, and I am no different. So here is a Famicom, an original Famicom, and I'm excited to clean this up and kind of see what we got here. There's this mess of cables. Yeah, so check that out. So yeah, it's a little dirty, but I'll just do a cleanup video and see how clean we can get it, and we'll do it before and after, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty impressive. So this was what your NES came off of, if you have an NES. And one thing I can tell you is that I don't love having controllers that are just fixed to the back. But, you know, the Famicom is known for having player 1 and player 2, right? You can see 1 and 2 over here, and volume on player 2 for whatever reason. So pretty cool, built-in mic, a lot of fun. We'll do some testing with that as well. So we'll set that aside here. And so of course I had to get those two peripherals because they go together, right? It only makes sense. You don't want them to get lonely. Here is this is the Hudson B Famicom controller. This was made by Hudson. Looks just like a Famicom controller. I believe this also came with the JRA set. Yep. And you'll recognize the little Hudson B. Boop, 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 boop. So there you go. Pretty darn cool. I'm so excited to be able to rock some Famicom stuff and to play some Famicom. I am going to have to get a CRTV for this. So that is definitely going to be kind of next on the list of to-dos now that I have all this Famicom goodness that I need to go into and explore. Here is the peripheral that I was just talking about for gambling, the JRA. One of the earlier modems you're ever going to see. And I got this, true story, I got this for 1 yen, everybody. 1 yen. I'll put the conversion up on the screen for you so that you can get an idea of what that costs. But this was an auction that was put up, and I think somebody just forgot about it. Nobody bid on it. I did, and I won. Oh my goodness, look at this. Family computer network system. Check that out. Check that out. How cool is that? And then that just plugs into the top of your Famicom and it becomes like a transformer. Yeah, too cool. I love all these like things that build into other things. Japan was all about just accessories, accessories, accessories. And I think it's the coolest thing in the world. I'm telling you, you could do a whole Famicom channel just on all the crazy peripherals that never found the US. Speaking of which, anybody know what this is? I got this so that I could test something that I ended up getting. Also, it should be in this box. Come on. It's so hard. You want to open it because you're so excited, but you don't want to open it and break it. Oh, oh yes, indeedy. All right, so take a look at this, everybody. This is, you can tell, Nintendo, and this is the Famicom disk system. So you see this and you might think, well, it's a little smaller than a 3.5A floppy, but Nintendo actually had floppy disks that they used as games, and you could go and you could use these at a kiosk and you put it in and you could rewrite them with different games, and you could, you know, kind of like going to like Blockbuster or something. For those of us who were alive back in the days of Blockbuster, it was like Blockbuster and Redbox combined, and you could, you know, switch these out. So really cool piece of tech that never made it outside of Japan. I'm super excited. I actually have the rest of what I need to test this out, assuming everything works, knock on wood. But the other thing you have to be careful of with these is that sometimes they've been rewritten and they're not the game that you think they are. So I'll have to test it, but how cool is that? All right, I did get an N64 controller, which came with, you guessed it, an N64. And that's because I didn't actually need a new N64 or another N64, but there was a bundle and it included an N64, that Famicom that you saw, and an SNES, or the Super Famicom, and so that's why I ended up, you know, getting that. And what I'll do is I'll do a thinking about doing a Hall effect joystick replacement on the N64. This plugs your Famicom into your Famicom disk system and allows you to run discs on your Famicom. And by discs, I mean these things. So this is like one of the components that's necessary. Like I said, they're transformers, guys. These are made to be super simple. There's a reason they have some of the best engineers in the world. They had toys that were absolutely insane. Oh, look at that. It's just peeking out. I'm surprised this isn't wrapped differently. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is crazy. This is one of the first handhelds. It is backlit. Notorious for having a terrible battery life. This, everybody, is the Atari Lynx. I was blown away to find this. These are difficult to find. Oh, look at that. No. Somebody left some batteries in there. That's going to be... Oh, that's going to be some work. That's going to be some work to clean and fix and all that. This is yeah. Well, this will be a real struggle, but it's a real struggle that'll be worth it. What a system. This is such a cool thing. Oh, you poor thing. I can't believe somebody treated you like this. Oh, man. So, let's get back into it. We have another Another disc, Fama disc. And this one happens to be Ultraman, so I'm very excited about that. So I have 2 to test the systems with. Here is another one of the disc adapters. One came apart of a bundle. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it came just like this. But that is a Club Nintendo Luigi GameCube controller that I think I got for 40 bucks. And I'll replace this with an OEM stick. But other than that, I mean, come on. Everything feels really good on it other than that. Oh, that's amazing. Amazing. Could not be more thrilled for that. Luigi's my boy, right? He's a player 2 killer. You know, he's who you got to be when you went to your friend's house if you didn't have a system. And then if you were better than them, it was like insult to injury. You just got to beat them with player 2. So Luigi's got a special place in my heart. Obviously, it can be a little tricky to tell when you're buying something on auction from a different country. But I wanted a Game Boy Advance. I didn't have an OEM. And I kind of wanted a special one. Sorry, I'm sure it's hard to hear me while I do that. And so I looked online and I saw what they called Violet. But I'm pretty sure that this isn't Violet. But rather the Japanese Midnight Blue Toys R Us exclusive. I really think this is that. And it is so beautiful. And it comes with a controller adapter for the GameCube, which is awesome. And with a battery pack. So yeah, that is so cool. Yeah, this is the Game Boy, the Toys R Us Game Boy Advance, Japan exclusive. Oh man, it's so cool. And that's why, wow, look at the condition of this thing. That's why you read the descriptions, or read the descriptions and look at what's there, because this is not the Violet. Moving down the line. Oh yes, this is a mint condition Famicom 3D system. So we thought the 3DS was the first foray. Well, the Virtual Boy was the first foray into 3D gaming. This may be the actual first foray into 3D virtual reality, or not virtual reality, into 3D gaming. And it came out for the Famicom all the way back in the 80s. How cool is that? I mean, look at this super like 80s packaging and everything. It's even like, we'll call it 80s blue. So super stoked to do a video on that. I told you, the Famicom is just a system of wonder. Speaking of wonder, this is a Wonder Swan. And this was made by Gunpei Yokoi, who's the same gentleman who designed the Game & Watch and the DMG-01 and the Virtual Boy. Famed Nintendo engineer, great, incredible designer. But this is the Bandai Wonder Swan, which he developed after leaving Nintendo. Awesome. And this is actually a collectible one. It's a limited edition Panda variant. So I'm excited to clean that up. But those little pandas that you see all over it and everything, that is the Panda variant. So super cool. What a cool thing to have in your collection. I actually got this with the links. So pretty cool little haul there. Ooh, I love these. This is what they use when they do apples or pear packaging. And in this case, it's going to be a game, I think, which is almost better than an apple. Well, I guess it depends if you're, hungry or starving or whatnot. But yeah, it's a game. Not just any game. It's a Sonic and Tails game. Let's look at that. And that is a Game Gear game, which is super exciting because I can use that to test out the Analog Pocket. Well, or vice versa, as the case may be. Another Game Gear game, Sonic and Tails this time. This is the one-hand... we'll do a whole controller review for Famicom because they have so many random controllers. But this is a one-hand like pilot controller. Oh, yes. Okay, I didn't have a 2DS XL. This will get its own video. But, yeah. This will get its own video. Oh, what a cool... Okay, yeah. cool piece of the collection. And I have more Game Gear games littered in there, so I'll just do a full Game Gear day. Game Gear video. Be Game Gear greatness. And here's a Wonder Swan game, which I believe is actually the One Piece game that I'm excited about. And here's another thing. This is so weird. So this, I believe, this is Bandai. I believe this is a Tamagotchi, actually. Yeah, a limited edition Japanese Tamagotchi of some sort, which is just so cool. Let's see. This person just did not believe in taking batteries out of things. Come on. Although this does not look too corroded. I think I can actually clean. Might be able to get to use. Yeah, a couple little corrosion on the terminal, the battery ports, but nothing too major, so that should be very cleanable. I'm excited to clean this up and see what exactly we have here. Yeah. It's fun when you get things that are bundled together. You know, you get to get a surprise for everybody. I don't even want to touch these batteries. They're so gross. Oh, and that's also the one that came out with the baseball game with voice synthesizer, the Gakken. Oh, are those sliders? Look at these sliders. That's a slider? Oh yeah, it's a slider. That's actually sliding. What are the chances? I shouldn't even ask what the chances are. They seem to be like 100%. Come on. Jeez. Double A. I got old double A's. I got old triple A's. If you want old disgusting batteries, which you should not want, I have them. And some of them hold up better than others. These, you know, despite being old and gross, didn't just rust through the ports here. So I don't know. I'll have to test this out and see if it works. I have no idea. And clearly they don't either. They obviously never tested this, because if they did, yeah, there wouldn't be those in there. Alright guys, I have gotten a trash can now that's just going to live right here by my desk for the remainder of these videos. And will be just dedicated to old batteries. It'll be an old battery receptacle for the moment. Family computer SD station. This allowed you, I believe, to record things onto your system. It's made by Hori, so they're still making things for Nintendo. It's officially licensed, by the way. This awesome thing. I wonder if... Do you think the gross headphones are still in there? I kind of hope not. Oh. Yes, they absolutely are. Oh man, that is something. Japan just made every single thing they could. It's so cool. So I'll get a translation on this. We'll do a Famicom only video. It'll just be a big video about Famicom, and there'll be a bunch of Famicom peripherals if you can't tell. Alright, we have a couple of Nintendo Super Famicom controllers, otherwise known as the SNES in the US. Feels pretty good. I'll do a cleanup on these, of course. Oh, this one's a Hori pad. So this was aftermarket, technically, but also still recognized by Nintendo. And looks exactly the same, but this one is flat on the back, and this one has comfort. It's ergonomic. Could this be the first look at ergonomic controls? No, just kidding. But yeah, there you go. Ergonomic, not ergonomic, supposedly. So we'll see if those work when we test out the Super Famicom. This table is getting full, and if this table gets full, we will do a third video. Be a third part unboxing, because there's only so much room on the table, guys. I can't make up the rules. Or I guess I could, because it's my channel, but you know, I won't. All right, there is one Nintendo Super Famicom, and this time also had the disc system in it, so that's really cool. Super cool. And I've never actually had an SNES, Japan or American or European for that matter. So I'm super excited about the idea of that. So cool. Oh, here is Zaxxon, which also came with the people who don't like taking batteries out of things. So what are the chances? This one does have the batteries removed. Look at that. They're apt to get one right. Look at that D-pad. Bondi as well. Double panel. So, yeah, we'll clean that up. Have some fun with that. See what we got here. My very first Japanese N64. Pretty cool. Let's put that back in, though. All right, we're getting down to the end of it, guys. We have not one, but two of these. And these are the family computer Famicom disk system. So this is what your discs go into, and I'll show you all in the video that we do with that. Again, one came in the bundle and one I got by itself before I ordered that. So the nice thing is I will have backup parts for both, where I can kind of unload one if I needed to. I guess we're kind of cheating now on whether or not we are filling up the table. Here we go. And they blend in, so you can't tell that they're on the table. That's what we're going for, because we're just gonna get all in one video, everybody. One and done. One and done. It's a good thing there are like only two things left. All right, so the second to last thing that we have is gonna be this, and this is actually the Famicom 2, because what they did when they came out with the Famicom and the NES is they came out with a 1.5 version that was an updated look. So this one is special because it has like bone controllers and everything. It was only released for this. And this was a bundle. I'm excited to do this. We'll do this as its own video as well. And that brings us to the final thing. You guys have made it all the way, and I think you deserve this final reward. All right? It is, I'll give you a hint. It's something that's supposed to be legendarily bad, but was legendarily cool. And comes from the 80s. And it's a Nintendo product. That's right, you guessed it. It is dun, 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 the one, the only, the Power Glove. So we will do a video on that as well. Its own video, maybe that and the Super Scope, maybe separate videos. I mean, I think this warrants its own video, so you let me know. But man, what a haul. So that should kind of give you an idea of what Sendico does, and whether or not it's something that's applicable to you. Clearly, I took the collector route. I don't think this is probably necessary or even logical for anybody, and the amount of stuff that I have to go through and clean is high. But the deals that I got, the access that I got, the conditions that I got things in, pretty incredible. So consider using Sendico. Give it a check out. I'll leave a link to them below. But regardless, this is Ben64, the console curator, saying the past is present and the future, it's what you make it. Thanks for joining me, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.